On behalf of the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, welcome to the Rolex Race Village here at Dockside. And there's been quite a bit of activity overnight, I've got to tell you. 24 boats have finished overnight, so 37 have now finished. The most recent, Atomic Blonde, is either just short of the finishing line or has just finished. There have been 17 retirements now, and a couple have gone into Port Arthur. Helsel, which is 50 years since the original Helsel, the floating footpath, took line honours in race record time in 1973. But Rob Fisher, he has the family on board. They've pulled into Port Arthur, so they have retired. And also Allegro has gone into Port Arthur just to assess damage. So it looks as though they have retired, but a possibility, if the damage is not too bad, they may be able to continue. But alongside me is Peter Shipway, and we've had a lot of excitement overnight, Peter, but a fantastic performance by Mistral. Very briefly, the two-hander has just finished.
Yeah, she finished about half an hour ago, Gordon. An amazing performance. We'll talk about that effort shortly, but you know, she's the first two-hander in. She's beaten a lot of big, fully crewed boats, twice her size. There's shot now of Mistral just approaching the finishing line. Rupert Henry and Jack Boutel will, as I said, we'll sing their praises a bit later on, but this has been a fantastic effort.
Let's take them over. We'll be crossing very shortly, Peter, to the presentation of the Tattersall Cup to Alive. But yeah, we're closing on the finishing line here in Mistral, and tell us about this boat, Peter.
Well, she'll be 35th boat to finish in this race. She's designed by Marc Lombard, the French designer, who sadly passed away earlier this year, and he's well known for his designs in Europe. And we'll just see her cruising towards the finishing line now, but we'll come back a bit later because we're getting ready for the presentation.
Okay, well, we have Peter G standing by now for the presentation to Alive with the Commodores of the RYCT and the CYCA of Australia, and also the Managing Director of Rolex Australia. Peter G.
Good morning, Gordon. Good morning, everyone. Everything in readiness now. It's been a quick reposition of the race winner, and the presentation's about to take place. The skipper's just organising what crew he's got of the lucky 13 who successfully sailed the 628 nautical miles to victory this year. So we've got the George Adams Tattersall Cup ready to be presented now. So over the safety lines. Oh! Just managed to steady himself, Arthur Lane there. And he's presented with the George Adams Tattersall Cup, which is about to be presented to a very excited and happy skipper. So Duncan Hine, for the second time, will accept the trophy and the Rolex Yachtmaster timepiece from Benoit Folletti, the Managing Director of Rolex Australia. Arthur Lane, the Commodore of the CYCA, has the silverware. It is a spectacular trophy. It's been polished up beautifully for this presentation, and the champagne's about to flow as well. That's the best smile you'll see in Hobart today.
Yeah, hey? It's the first thing I've ever been able to hold too well. Come on, mate, hand it over.
We're going to take this away from you and pass you
champagne.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that too, please.
No. Can you hold that for 5 minutes?
You ready to go?
Yeah, ready to go.
You ready to take this back? Yep.
If you were smart, man, you'd get off.
You okay with that?
Well done, guys. Stand by, boy. I'm about to wash the dust off.
You okay?
I'm okay.
Off you go.
There's 2 magnums of champagne on standby here as well, so Arthur Lane and Benoit Folletti wisely getting off the yacht.
You're good at this. I'm still learning. Can we get 2? Oh, naughty. Just put that one.
Here's the other one.
Hang on. One of them's got to be drunk.
You can take it. You can keep it.
I know owner Philip Turner will be watching from Thailand right now, so not on board, but savouring the flavour, no doubt.
You've got to do a better job than Christian Beck did the other day.
Oh, what? Disinfecting?
Christian Beck didn't do a very good job the other day.
I hope the seals don't mind this. I owed you that. Actually, I'm pretty good at this. Oh man, hey.
Just beforehand. I'm drawing. You do a good job.
Yes, I think the skipper's about to get it back in droves here. No, he's
It's never tasted
very
so
good
sweet.
firefighting technique, it must be said.
You've got to get rid of some of the dust first. How's your phone? Is it waterproof? I took it out of my pocket just in case. But okay, boys.
Very happy scenes as you would expect on board the Rykel Pew 66. Only the second time in history that a Tasmanian yacht has done the double. The 8th time that a yacht has won this race on 2 occasions. So it was Westwood in 1947-48, the Tasmanian dual winner, and now it is alive, representing the Derwent Sailing Squadron. Winners in 2018, so nearly won in 2019, and the skipper's going in. He's not going to be the only one, I don't think. It is a brisk 14 degrees at the moment down on the docks. The water temperature will probably be a little bit warmer than that right now. He has got a continual smile on his face. The skipper has done such a great job, Duncan Hine, and no one is more delighted right now than he is with the performance of his yacht and crew. 8 Australians, 4 Kiwis and 1 British sailor have combined brilliantly to take home the major trophy this year, and great applause from a very good crowd that have come down in these fresh conditions. We had a cool change come through overnight, a cold front, and but they're not feeling a thing here on board Alive.
He's gone.
Woo! Woo!
Alive.
Going alive?
So we had 5 of the 13-member crew here this morning, but in an hour or two, the whole 13 will be officially presented up on the main stage. Gordon Bray will be emceeing that. I'll hand you back to Gordon and Peter Shipway to continue with today's update on CYCA TV.
Peter G, Tasmanian television royalty. Very appropriate, Peter Shipway, that Peter G was there embracing those wonderful moments there aboard Alive, the Tasmanian entry, and winning a second race on handicap for Tasmania.
Yeah, it's hard to win one, and boy, to win 2, a fantastic effort. They must be very proud, and I think that they sailed a terrific race. They were always in the top half a dozen on handicap, and they got the job done right at the end when they stormed up the river, and poor old URM was becalmed somewhat, so a worthy victory.
Well, it's the 75th anniversary of the last Tasmanian yacht to win 2 Sydney Hobarts on handicap, and Westwood is in Constitution Dock. Mistral has actually moved into Constitution Dock, the first boat in there, but this is Westward, which won, Peter, in 1947 and 1948 for the great Hobart sailor Jock Muir, and the boat was built here at Battery Point in Hobart.
It's owned by George Gibson. Jock designed and built it. Things have changed in 70 odd years, haven't they? But she's in great condition, and just a great memory for everyone that competes in the Hobart race to see what it was like in the old days.
Peter, let's now go back to those very special moments for Mistral. Rupert Henry and Jack Butel, the two-handers, the first two-handed boat home. They were the champions last year. Very different conditions. They finished under Spinnaker last year, a lot quieter, but here we are. I suppose not too dissimilar, the conditions, with sheets sprung at the moment, but very special moment, as I say, for Rupert Henry and in the two-handed class, and what a fantastic performance.
It certainly cannot be understated, this effort. They will finish 6th overall in the race, and all the boats that beat them, the 5 boats that beat them, were all in Division 0, which is the big boats. They break the divisions up into equal sizes depending on the size of the boat. So Alive and URM, Moneypenny and Law Connect and Andu Comanche, all the big fellas. And then coming in 6th is in the number 4 division, this little boat, Mistral, who, as we thought, would perform very well after last year's effort as well. Greg O'Shea sailed with Rupert last year. Jack Butel, highly credentialed Australian sailor, but now living in Europe, joined Rupert for this campaign. And you can just see them. There's Rupert steering, I think, or was it Jack? Doesn't matter, it's one of them. And one, you can choose one or the other. But I mean, any boat that finishes the Hobart race has got to be commended. The two-handers especially, but the performance of this little boat, it cannot be understated. We'll talk a bit more about it a bit later on, but it is an absolutely outstanding effort, and they've got to be congratulated. And for the second year in a row, they look certain to win the two-handed prize.
Rupert Henry and Jack Butel. And as I look at that rainbow, Peter, I'm reminded of the great statesman Lee Kuan Yew, the former Prime Minister of Singapore, and his words to the nation. He inspired a nation. Look at the horizon, follow that rainbow, and go ride it. Very appropriate for Rupert Henry and Jack Butel.
Yeah, almost at the finishing line there, and they look as though the breeze is heading them a bit, so they'll probably furl up that front sail and just finish under mainsail and headsail. But just out off Tasman Island, boy, the boats are copping it out there. If you're not round Tasman at the moment, it's been gusting 40 knots out there, maybe higher at times, and there's still a few boats battling away north of Tasman. Even in Storm Bay, it's pretty rugged as well. And one of the boats not round Tasman is Rupert Henry's father, David Henry, also sailing in a two-hander.
A very different boat.
Yeah, very different boat, but David raced last year and he's done a lot of racing two-handed, and he's about 20 miles north of Tasman, so they'll be doing it pretty tough out there.
Yeah, gale force conditions out there, very large seas. David Henry, by the way, is 80 years of age. His wife is here, Peter, and also Rupert's wife as well. But let's now go through the tracker, and this is your forte.
Okay, well, this is, we'll look at line honours first, I think, Gordon. And as we said earlier, there's now over 30 boats have finished. We come down, we keep going. Okay, Patriot has finished, and I think Atomic Blonde will have finished by now. So that'll be 37 boats have finished, and some of these boats, 40 miles is the distance from Tasman Island to the finish, so any boat that's higher figure than 40 miles is still north of Tasman. And we'll have a look there at Philosopher just for the exercise.
There's Nixon as also.
Yeah, there's Philosopher two-handed, David Henry.
David Henry.
Yeah,
so
18 miles north of Tasman.
And what are they copping there, Peter?
Well, it's been gusting over 40 knots at Tasman, and it's from the southwest. So they'll be hard on the wind. It's a real battle to get around Tasman. 20 knots, 25 knots solid. But even in the bay, it's a headwind. So tough going for these boats still at sea at the moment.
Well, Philosopher actually beat Mistral in the Noakes Sydney Gold Coast race. Dad beat son home, which was an amazing effort.
But we'll just have a look now quickly at the handicap prize here. Of course, this figure here is the division the boats are in. As I said earlier, all the Division 0 boats, the big boats, Alive, URM, Moneypenny, Law Connect, Andu, Comanche, and there, look at that, 6th place, Division 4 Mistral. A fantastic effort. Then another Division 0 boat in Wild Thing, and then MRV is 8, and then Patriot 9th, she's done well, and then Smuggler, the first Division 1 boat. So it's a little mixed up, but that little boat there, Mistral, boy, she can take a bow.
Yeah, a third of the size of the 100 footers, and people are still talking about those iconic images of the two 100 footers, Andu Comanche and Law Connect, the calm before the finishing line. Amazing scenes. They will live in our memories forever. Let's quickly reflect on those incredible moments. The excitement is building here on the Derwent River because this is Andu Comanche, the 100-footer who took line honours last year, has just gone through past the iron pot, and where at the moment is Law Connect.
You can see her in the background, yeah. So she's round the iron pot as well, and well able to see what's happening ahead. And you want to be in front, but if you're behind like that into a dying breeze, you can kind of see where not to go. It certainly is dying where we are right now. They just did a big ease. Everyone is right up on the bow, and the reason for that is to try and get that big wide stern out of the water. There's that big cloud line over where you guys are, and I think that's really what's killing the breeze.
Wow, here's Law Connect, barreling along. She'll be closing this gap, there's no doubt about it, but she's going to stub a toe up here as well. And they're both in shot there. You can see that Law Connect has caught up, and there's good breeze where Law Connect is between her and Andu Comanche. Look at that bow wave. It's minimal, isn't it? It's hardly any bow wave at all.
There's a real glimmer of pressure, and Law Connect is in it. That's the only place that there's ripples on the water right now. So they are in that. They've halved the distance again, and with Andu there behind me, their sails have gone completely floppy.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
This is amazing.
This is amazing. As you say, Gordon, this is unbelievable. Look at Law Connect. There's a puff of breeze coming to her. Wow. Law Connect is sneaking along the shore there. This is not over by a long shot. Andu Comanche still leads. It's narrow, as you can see. Without stating the obvious, it's very close.
Law Connect has been throwing a few manoeuvres in here, and I think that's actually quite a clever move by that team. They seem to be accelerating out of the jives a lot quicker than Andu Comanche. Really aggressive moves by Law Connect.
What a finish this is going to be for this race. Look at Law Connect. Her headsail's just collapsed. Just collapsed, that massive headsail.
She's coming back here, Andu.
Yep, Andu's got a little bit of pressure. This is cat and mouse stuff here. Real cat and mouse stuff. They're going to jibe in tandem here too. Okay. These manoeuvres hurt these big boats so much, but they've got to throw everything at it now, Law Connect. See the aggressive jibe that Tony Mutter's putting in on Law Connect. They really swing that boat through. It's absolutely unbelievable how close this is. Look at this. Law Connect's got the bow down. Here we go. Can Law Connect lock Andu Comanche out, or vice versa?
The leader's changed hands two or three times here.
Got to get back on port tack, which is a disadvantage. Andu could almost be on the gas of Law Connect here, meaning that she's taking the wind away. Andu Comanche's faster at the moment. There's the finishing buoy. Oh, look at this. So, Law Connect's got the bow down here. Wow, she's taken the breeze of Andu. That's what's happened. That's what's happened here. They've done it. Law Connect's done it. They've put the bow across in front of Andu. I think Law Connect might do this.
And just 100 metres to the finishing line.
Oh, look at this. This is amazing. Unbelievable. Here's Law Connect on her way. There's the finishing buoy that just got to turn to starboard.
Extraordinary scenes here on the Derwent.
They've done it.
Law Connect over the finishing line, just seconds ahead of Andu Comanche.
Oh, it is. I can't believe that result. Honestly, It's a dream come true. I never thought it was possible, actually.
And ladies and gentlemen, I think we can safely say we have seen the most incredible finish in the 78-year history of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race.
Yes, and amazingly, 2 days later, a 30-footer, a 34-footer sailed two-handed has finished the race. Incredible performance. Let's hear now from Lisa Darmanin.
Well, Jack and I sailed together a bit last year in France. Unfortunately, we had a big lead at Green Cape, and then there was a restart. And everyone sailed up to us when we sat becalmed for half a day, and yeah, pushing hard every sail change.
And your mum's actually watching this right now. What she come all the way in? Do you have anything to say to her?
My mum.
Yeah, your mum.
Oh, hello, Mum. Thanks for your perpetual interest and support.
Yeah, no, it was pretty non-stop from start to finish. Like the first day was quite difficult with the thunderstorms, and had some pretty incredible lightning, just like non-stop lightning all evening, and had a few strikes in the water really close to the boat, which were pretty scary, but interesting. And then, yeah, just tough conditions all the way. A lot of upwind, strong wind, a lot of changing conditions, so lots of transitions and things to manage. But it was nice to sail with Rupert again after our stint in France last year, and good to sail in Australia again, and nice little boat that Rupert's set up here, so no, it's been good, and happy to be in Hobart.
Well, the two ladies we saw looking at the finish for Mistral was Rupert's mother Jill and his wife Sarah, and we let them in and had a look, and Jill's still got a husband out there battling away, but obviously very proud of the performance.
80 years young.
Yeah. Well, that's the father, not Jill.
Yeah.
Don't talk about women's age, Gordon. I've told him that. But no, she must be, and Sarah must be very proud of Rupert's performance. But I think, Gordon, when we drill down on this race, as we're watching again her come to the finishing line, I mean, everyone will talk about the performance of Alive and URM, the battle they had for overall honours, and certainly the history will show that Alive is the winner of the 78th edition of this Rolex Sydney Hobart. And again, they'll look at the line honours victory of Law Connect, which was outstanding, beating, the hot favourite in Andu Comanche. And then you look down at the divisional results. I mean, MRV, a very good performance to win Division 2. And then Patriot winning Division 3, and Smuggler, that was an outstanding effort, the TP52s, to win that division. That's always a very hot division. But I think when you drill down into this race and you look at this boat here, Mistral in 4th place, in Division 4 in 6th place overall, this is an outstanding performance. As I said earlier, any boat that finishes with a fully crewed crew deserves full marks. But when you see that little boat just coming into Constitution Dock, it's been immaculately prepared by Rupert. For the last 2 months, he's been down there every day at the CYC, fiddling away, getting everything right, and making sure that he knew what was required to win this race. He didn't win it overall, but he's slammed his division and winning the division, and to be 6th overall in this company, you just cannot speak highly enough of this performance. And I think he and Jack are obviously got to be very thrilled, tired as they may well be. I mean, they must look back, sit back and think, wow, we've done it, and this has been an absolutely wonderful first-class performance, and they've got to be heartily congratulated, as all boats have, but this is a special congratulations to do this in this little boat and to be so far ahead of the next two-hander. Full marks to them. Boat preparation absolutely perfect. Crew work perfect. It's a tough race for all of the boats, but here they are with the rainbow, shooting towards the end of the rainbow, and they certainly have brought home gold.
Peter, I think you're a little emotional at the moment. This is very special.
Well, it is. I mean, I know Rupert well, and I'm a good supporter of his as well as I am of most of the boats. But especially when you know someone well, I think, and I know how much effort and time he's put into this, I think it's a worthy result.
Yeah. And good luck to Father David, who's still battling to get round Tasman Island in pretty terrible conditions. But this morning, all the accolades going to Alive, the second Tasmanian boat to win the Rolex Sydney Hobart twice. and I think a very proud moment for the Apple Isle, and particularly the Premier of Tasmania, the Honourable Jeremy Rockcliffe.
A very proud moment, and once again an opportunity for people just to prick their ears up, like they did the other day with the closeness of the race between, of course, Law Connect and Comanche, and realise that this is something pretty special. And when Tasmanians step up, we step up well and truly and punch above our scale and do it well, as Alive and others have done.
Peter, yes, a great performance by Alive, and the 75th anniversary of the great cutter.
Well, when you think, Gordon, and I might have mentioned this yesterday, I mean, in the history of this Hobart race, so many boats have set out and tried to win, and only a few have managed to do that. A very small percentage of the total yachts have won the Tattersalls Cup, and Alive's won it twice. It's a mighty effort.
And I hear that a little bird told me that you were tipped, Alive, by quite a prominent yachtsman in the race, or sailor as we call them these days.
I tipped someone, or someone tipped me?
Someone tipped it to you?
No, other way round.
Okay. Okay, you tipped it to them. Okay, right.
But they didn't put any money on it.
Okay, well there you are. You tipped Alive.
I got the double, as they say.
Well, why didn't you say that on air?
Didn't want to show off.
Yeah, well that's fantastic.
No,
result.
she was always in the weather and looking at the weather models. It was always obvious that those bigger, 60-foot plus boats were going to figure prominently in the handicap prize. And at one stage, it looked as though either Andu, Comanche or Law Connect could have got the double. Handicap and line honours, but that wasn't to play out. I think Alive and URM and Money Penny finished with a good rush, and they were the top three, and full marks to them. Great effort.
Yeah, well there you have it. Peter Shipway privately thought that Alive would win, but on television he told everyone that URM Group was
I want to throw them off the scent and get better odds on Alive.
You wanted to get better odds, clearly, and then you didn't back it. Well, that's a problem. But we also saw at 7 o'clock this morning the beautiful Oroton Drumfire finishing, the most luxurious boat in the race. And Lisa Darmanham has had a bit to do with this boat before it left the CYCA dock.
Well, I'm here aboard Oroton Drumfire, this 78-foot beauty. It's absolutely gorgeous with its teak trimmings.
The difference between us and other boats is that we go from a luxury vessel and then we turn it into a race boat. And so rather than just sort of going half at it, we go all the way and we try and be as competitive as we possibly can. It's a quite a long process. It takes us about 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's a massive mission, but you've also got the best bathroom in the fleet, so that's a good thing.
That is one nice luxury that you get on this boat, and also a hot shower.
I also hear a lot of the fleet's jealous of the food on board as well. Can you give us a bit of an insight to what goes on in the kitchen?
So yeah, this year we're going with Moroccan slow cooked lamb over Israeli couscous with vegetables and mozzarella, a modified sweet and sour chicken on rice.
All of our food is just dehydrated packets, and we put hot water in and leave it for a few minutes, and then you eat this delicious dehydrated food.
Mussels and white wine and garlic sauce just as snacks, and we just pass those around in a pot to people on the rail and things. Prosciuttos, lots of good fruit platters and sandwiches, and you name it, the whole works.
Adrian Cullen, I think, went down last year, Peter. Or was it the year before?
I think the year before.
The year
she
before,
was on it,
with Stacey Jackson. They did it very tough. But Adrian, of course, was the winning navigator on Alive. What about Will Vickers, the investment banker? I think he was a schoolmate of James Packer at Cranbrook School.
Right.
But I'm not sure about that, whether they were actually schoolmates. But
I'm sure we'll
beautiful,
find that out.
beautiful boat.
But what's happened with Oroton Drumfire at the moment, she is the handicap leader in the PHS division, which is the performance handicap division. These boats are not rated by the computer, which is the main prize. The company called Sail Assist rates these boats with algorithms and etc. And Oroton Drumfire is currently leading. She's the culprit, is coming in second place. She has got to finish, I'm just looking forward at the results here, she's got to finish by 4:30 this afternoon to dislodge Oroton Drumfire at the top of the leaderboard in the PHS division. And she is not around Tasman. She's got 56 miles to go, and the time here is about almost 11 o'clock, and she's got 5.5 hours to do 50. She can't do it. She won't do it. So I would think, provisionally, I would think she's the culprit, will probably win the PHS division, and that's a nice, comfortable way to go to Hobart. But in comfort, they look as though they could have got the honours in the PHS division.
Well, Peter, last night we went to the People's Restaurant, the revolving restaurant at West Point Casino. It's known as The Point, and we were there with Peter G and an old Tasmanian rainbow sailor, Andrew Chappell, and we saw Antipodes, Jeff Hill from the Royal Hong Kong Yacht Club, finishing the race at around about 7 o'clock. So it was pretty spectacular, the view up there on top of West Point, and it's a bucket list thing for every Tasmanian to go to the revolving restaurant. The cuisine was very good, I must say.
It was.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
What did you have?
Had oysters and followed by scallops, so it was very nice, and washed down by a cheeky Pinot Noir.
Yeah, Tasmanian Pinot
Absolutely.
Noir, of course.
Absolutely.
But the point about Antipodes is that Lindsay May was doing his 50th consecutive Rolex Sydney Hobart. He was the navigator. His first race, I think, back in 1973. It definitely was 1973. You've sailed with him, Peter, but let's now find out a little bit more about the journey for Antipodes and this great sailor, Lindsay May.
To do it, but who knows what's going to happen when we get up to the Garrows, the last ball on the arm, anything can happen. So we've got the spinnakers back just in case, but let's hope we just get us over the finish line, we can pack up it.
You like to say, Linz?
No, it's just nice to be close to the finish. It's much a great bet. I think a very generous chip. Oh, I feel great. It's just lovely to be in Hobart again. Very tough race out there and going. Oh, I just in the flesh wound. I don't even know what I jagged it off with something. That's what happens when you get old and your skin gets thin.
Lindsay May and wife Tanya, and a special celebration coming up for Lindsay.
Yeah, the old man of the sea. I shouldn't announce this, but he's got a special party upstairs at the Customs House at lunchtime for anyone that's ever sailed with Lindsay. So there'll be a lot of people there, and fantastic performance to do 50 Hobarts in a row. I mean, jeez. Yeah. I'd say, I don't know whether he'll get to 60, but anyway, let's celebrate the moment with Lindsay.
Well, you can see behind us, Peter, here at the King's Pier, the flags are fluttering. We're getting buffeted by the breeze, and the temperature is
freezing. Absolutely,
it says
freezing.
It's about 12, but it's more like about 6 or 7 degrees.
Now, Gordon, that boat on your right-hand side.
Yes.
I'll try and point it. Where am I going? Up there.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to get that boat there. That is Antipodes.
Okay.
That's
the
Antipodes.
light blue hull.
Yeah, that's right. That's
over
the boat.
over my right shoulder, you meant
yes,
to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did I say? Your right ear or something.
So
you know what I mean.
Do you want to borrow my glasses?
No, I'm going okay. I'm going okay.
Actually, people have been commenting how you lean forward, when you're trying to read the tracker. So don't lean forward this time when you take us through the tracker, because there are still a lot of boats out there. But just repeating that, I think we've now had 37 boats finished, 17 retirements, which means that there are still 49 yachts still at sea, Peter.
Yeah, we've got Volstar Yeah Baby would be finished by now. We'll have a look here. And then the remaining boats, Mini, that's Michael Bell from New South Wales, Zappa, well-known Australian yachtsman, America's Cup, Admiral's Cup sailor. He's in the river, just under 9 miles to go. His son Ollie's aboard. Then we've got Mondo, 22 miles to go. Tenacity, 25. Eye Candy, 29. Showdown, the next two-hander, she's 30 miles to go. So she's around Tasman and got about 20 miles to go to enter the river. That's Drew Carruthers and Jimmy Close. So they'll be second two-hander in, but they rate a lot higher than Mistral, so there's no problem there for Mistral on handicap. Mako is in the bay, Wings is in the bay, Ragtime also. Excess Moment is just round Tasman, as is Clockwork, Amazing Grace, Allegro, and the Kraken 3, who is another well-performed two-hander. Rob Goff and John Saul from Tasmania. They're right at Tasman Island now.
Peter, there's that game, Where's Wally? I don't know whether it's usually a Christmas present.
Yes.
We gave it to our kids. But there's a new game now. Where's Ollie? Where is Ollie on the tracker? Where is
Ollie the cat.
Sylph 6? Ollie the cat.
Okay, I
Where
know.
are they?
She's got a lot of supporters out there. And Sylph 6 is doing 7.9 knots, 319 miles to go. So she's not quite halfway. She's south of Gaybo Island by 79 miles, so she's well in the straight.
She's made some good leeway overnight.
Leeway or headway?
It was headway. Over 100. They were 400.
Yeah.
Over 400 miles to go. So they've actually covered about 80 odd miles.
The cat might be steering.
Yeah.
But let's have a look now. There the boats with their position. We might now have a look at the actual tracker so people can get an idea of where the boats are in relation to the coast and Tasman Island. So I'll just scroll up here, Gordon, and I'll go on to the tracker. There we go. This is the tracker, and we can see here that it's windy and all the boats, majority of them are stacked up on the rum line, close to shore. And it's windy, as I said earlier, very blustery at Tasman Island. There's Tasman Island there. These boats are very close to it. They're Merit and
Cinnamon Girl.
Cinnamon Girl.
You need some glasses, Peter.
Yeah, well, I'm making it bigger. Yeah. And we'll see if we can find...
Eden Capital, the two-hander.
Yeah. There's boats way down here to the south of Tasman. And you can just see here, that's someone. I need bigger glasses.
That's Rock All 8.
Rock All 8,
yeah.
and there, it's tough. I mean, I can just tell by the direction they're all
Kraken
going.
3, Rob Goff and John Saul, the Tasmanian two-hander there.
Yeah, and
they're going to finish quite well, I think, aren't they?
Yes,
on handicap?
they could easily be second on handicap to Mistral. And out here, quite wide, is David Henry. You can just see how wide he is of the rum line.
That's
so,
Rupert Henry's father in the two-hander.
So he's got a big punch into Tasman. But I think most of the divisions have been sorted out now. We might just go back to that and can look at the standings. So this is the handicap prize. Division 0, the big boys, it stays the same as the overall, a live URM money penny. Division 1, which are around about the 50-footers. Bring that up, and it should be Smuggler on top. Smuggler, Celestial, who won the race last year for Sam Haynes. Sebastian Bohm for Smuggler. That is a really, really top effort. And Caro, this year's winner of the Fastnet race, rounded out the third placing. And Ocean Crusaders, Jaybird, another TP52 was fourth. And then Teasing Machine from France. And sixth, Bumblebee 5, the 2001 handicap winner. So they're all in, and then we go to Division 2. MRV launched for Stan Edwards as Margaret Rintoul 5. Beautiful Herman Frere's 62-footer. They've done exceptionally well. Pretty Woman, Richard Hudson from New South Wales. He's Bruce Farr designed 45-footer. Richard always has young guys from the Royal and girls from the Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club just north of Sydney. So they've put in a very good effort. And Utspa, Bruce Taylor, wow, boy, has he been thereabouts all through his career. I think this is Bruce's 41st or 42nd Hobart race. Most of his crew have sailed with him all the way through. They've got, I think, about 280 Hobart races between the crew of about 9 guys. I think Kingsley Priest has done his 40th race this year. So that's a very good performance for them to be third in their division. Maritimo 54, skippered by Kendall Barry Cotter. Michael Green, the highly experienced Michael Green aboard. They finished in 4th place. And Murray Spence, the navigator, and Mike Hughes from the fireman from Fremantle, Western Australia. He was on that crew. So that's Division 2, and Division 3 we go to. Patriot from Victoria has won that division. Atomic Blonde, she's a brand new boat from Western Australia. She was built in Nowra, just south of Sydney, and they worked her up in Sydney before the race. So a good, outstanding performance in your first race to get second in your division. And White Noise from Victoria is third. Then we go down to Division 4. Well, we've spoken about that at length. Mistral has won that division, I think. We've got Midnight Rambler, Eddie Saltis. He's got 50 miles to go, and to beat Mistral, he's got to be finished in about 2 and a bit hours, or 1 hour. So he's not going to do that. I don't think anyone will displace Mistral in Division 4. Division 5, these are the tiny fellows. Min River, Lady Skipper, Wang Lin, a brand new boat this year. She built it for the Fastnet race, had to retire from that race. She is leading. These boats all still at sea. These are the real small boats. Kraken 3 is in second place. And Disco Trooper, contender sailcloth, Jules Hall. He won the inaugural two-handed race in the Hobart in 2021, 2 years ago. He's fully crewed this year, and he's currently in third place. And then Cinnamon Girl, Eden Capital in fourth place, and Azura in fifth place. Now aboard Azura is Jessica Watson, the youngest person ever to sail unassisted around the world, and she's battling it out there. Still got 107 miles to go. And in sixth place, Love and War, a 3-time winner. But none of these boats are around Tasman. Kraken's right at Tasman, so she's going to be had an advantage to get around the Tasman Island. So they're the divisional placings, but this division's still to play out because no boats are finished. And as I said earlier, the PHS, Oroton Drumfire, she's the culprit, and WF Kale, third at the moment. And in Division 2 of that division, PHS, she's the culprit. Wild Oats, the 3 times winner of the race, and Charles Bello, that's the top 3. And then with two-handed, we'll go there. Mistral, Min River, Kraken 3, and Cinnamon Girl. Those figures in red at the time, they've got to finish to beat Mistral.
And Philosopher there in 5th place.
David Henry in 5th place, yep.
With Stephen Prince, let's not forget
that's right,
the co-skipper.
Yep, absolutely.
Very important.
Yep. So that's about, at the moment, Gordon, the wrap-up of the placings, and most of them have been decided, but there's a couple of divisional results still to work out.
I've got to give Peter Shipway 10 out of 10. His mind is like an encyclopedia. I can tell you that he was spot on with Bruce Taylor. He's 43rd, Sydney Hobart. Kingsley Peace is also on board. He's 40th, Sydney Hobart. And as you say, father and son, Bruce and Andrew based in Hong Kong, are sailing their 30th consecutive Rolex Sydney Hobart together. Incredible. And let's also mention Brad Kellett. Brad Kellett sailing his 30th successive Rolex Sydney Hobart with Lindsay May on Antipodes. And Kendi Kellett, his mother, didn't start, but fired the 5-minute gun.
Yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
And Dad, David, involved as well.
Yeah, he runs the radio relay vessel communications, the JBW, and he's been doing that for a number of years after he retired from full-on ocean racing. So they perform a very valuable function for the race. But Kingsley on Woodspar, he could beat Lindsay's record. He's only got 11 more races to go, and he might topple Lindsay's 50 consecutive races. But I don't know whether he's got another 11 left in him. But that's a fine crew on that boat, and to be together for so long, father and son, Drew and Bruce and all the boys. I mean, the victory has eluded Bruce. He's been second. He's been placed in the race, but he just hasn't been able to deliver the Tattersalls Cup to Victoria for his boat. But who knows? Maybe next year.
Yeah, representing the Royal Yacht Cup of Victoria. And when Bruce is the skipper, but when Bruce goes to Hong Kong, Andrew is the skipper on his boat Ambush.
Drew's boat.
He fires out the orders. Okay, that's very important. Yeah. Now, just a reminder for people who are watching in the Rolex Media Village, the race village, I should say, on the big screen. At 12 o'clock here locally, we'll be having the medallion presentation to all of the crew. That will be happening if you're around Hobart. Come down to the race village, and there is alive the second Tasmanian boat to win 2 Rolex Sydney Hobart yacht races. A reminder, our next report will be at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and on 10 o'clock, 4 o'clock, our last report will be 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. But make sure you follow on our social media, and if you go to CYCA TV That will give you all the links to get to the live coverage. So it's all been happening again. It's never a dull moment here at Kings Pier, Peter Shipway.
No, excitement plus, and I think as the afternoon wears on, we're going to see a lot of more boats finish. A lot of the smaller boats will come in, and there'll be some tired crews amongst those boys, that's for sure. It's been a pretty rugged night out at sea.
Well, thank you one and all, and we'll leave you with some live shots from the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania. The RYCT is the finishing partner with the CYCA of Australia of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race. And an army of volunteers have been involved at this end, the finishing end, and well done the Rotary Club of Glenorchy, which is involved in bringing all the bags down from Sydney and unpacking them at this end, because the crews can now pick up their gear, go to their hotels and start the celebrations. So that's all for the time being from the Royal Yacht Club of Tasmania, and we'll be back at 4 o'clock.